All right, let's try this. See how it goes. Gonna do a little weekend open source here. Let me test everything. Get going. Yep. Hmm. Make sure audio's good. I think it's good. Okay. Let's get started. Okay. So, I almost logged in last night, but I didn't. This happens to me a lot. Uh, this has happened to me my whole life. After a kind of a big accomplishment, I feel reduced motivation. I mean, today we're only talking about I decided to enjoy my Friday night differently from writing code on Chatfield. In fact, I wrote code on a different personal project. Um, but so this is we're talking about minor things, but I always kind of feel like um, not demotivated and destroyed and burned out, but like less motivated slightly just after massive kind of milestones. It's like, well, now what? But I love Chatfield. I love lots of the challenges, and I definitely love today. I think we're gonna get into some of the like some amazing applications of Chatfield. I believe Chatfield has a massive um contribution to make into the conversation on accessibility and even literacy. That's how I feel. I believe that basically Chatfield can turn a lot of web forms into um, conversational or even voice um, interface. And so I believe that graphical user interfaces will go away. The number will change from 100% GUIs. Basically, today computing is 100% GUIs with exceptions of mostly accessibility circumstances, vision impairment, and things like this. Basically, all computing is GUI. Certainly, um, that's most of us most of the time. And it's going to change. I don't know what the new balance will be. Will it be 90-10? Will 10% of software applications have no graphical user interface and be voice only or, you know, or at least be able to be operated voice only, text only, chat only, or voice only? I think the answer is obviously yes. The number will not be 0%. It will not be the case that 0% of software in the future, the near future, 1 year, let's say 1 year from now, 1 to 2 years, it will not be the case that 0% of it will have, um, voice only support. Some new software will be voice only. And that voice only software will be, I believe this will be like a once in a lifetime kind of level of improvement that we may ever see, that I may ever see on accessibility. These language models they're going to revolutionize accessibility. They're going to make so many gains. Uh, and so Chatfield is like, I think Chatfield has something to say in that conversation. Practically speaking, I want to go to, for example, like a difficult government, form in a like relatively unknown language, right? On a relatively poor, uh, like UI UX, like government platform, so something important to people and necessary, something unpleasant, a pain point. And I want Chatfield to say, don't worry about this form. Just talk to me. We're going to talk and so on. And I think like crossing that language gap will be really very doable for Chatfield. Like that's the whole point. Is traditional forms have this new uh, interface, right? This conversational interface rather than graphical interface. So, so I'm extremely excited. It's more just yeah, it's just a natural part of life. I think after a big milestone, I feel like I feel less clear what I want to log in and do. So let's do that. Let's jump in. I definitely enjoyed Friday. I thought about it all day. All day Friday. I remember thinking, I had so much fun just goofing off this morning in software and like not doing my plan. That's the first time in like 10 or 12 or 15 years. I don't even remember the last time I like had a goal and just spent time not working towards that goal on software because um it's just that's the job, that's the work, that's what you do. So it was absolutely super fun. Let's actually pull up and kind of get into the normal structure here. It was so pleasant to not really follow the plan and to do some build stuff and to kind of play around. Yeah, and to enjoy it just for its own fun, just for the creative process, just to enjoy something. I literally haven't done that. I haven't. What did I even do? Yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, secure. I mean, it's just nothing. Just piddled with Claude Code. Wrote this code. Copy paste. What is this? Oh, README. Yeah. Yeah. So here's the code. So Claude Code added the security levels. They did it. They Claude Code did it more or less how I imagined. I imagine three security levels, like don't care. I'll say admin party, don't care, and then there's if anything suspicious happens, I want you to crash, and then there's this middle ground of if anything suspicious happens, I want you to warn me. Claude Code built it all, so I'm happy about that. Um, and so it was just an absolute pleasure to just kind of write some code with just no um, time pressure, basically. Um, Friday, it was uh, like the most fun I've had writing software in on a like personally. I've certainly enjoyed massive accomplishments at work, but just like kind of leaning back and putting my feet up and writing code. That was so. Chatfield is really delivering there. There's open source participation. People are asking me about stuff either in chat or in various places. So very very happy with this. So let's get into it. I'm supposed to quickly review to give people context, and I just absolutely blew it today. But let's kind of get into it. So, as I just kind of um, expanded on in detail, Chatfield is forms. Chatfield is forms. Uh, but rather than graphical forms, it's a conversation. Um, um, yep. I'm gonna remind myself to like make some literature on that. Maybe some images. I bet Claude Code could do me a good diagram or image. So Chatfield is forms in conversation. it's a library for a larger application to use. Chatfield's more or less useless on its own, in the same way that a form, an individual form, is useless on its own. It must fit into a larger machinery. But what's different from certainly graphical forms and things like that is, as should be obvious by now, you speak to it, it speaks to you. The whole thing happens through a conversation. And then, because if you know about forms or data inputs, the big thing is the LLM will do validation for you, if you like. You can tell it how to validate stuff, how to validate information reported by the user. And then similarly, you can tell the LLM how to transform what the user says into more useful data objects, such as Booleans and integers and real numbers and JSON objects, you like to say. Translating language, you could translate into computer language, it's programming language, and anything an LLM can do, you can bake into these transformations on your core data model here, right? Or on your fields, really. So that's Chatfield. You don't need to know or use LangGraph or LangChain. You just need an LLM. But internally, Chatfield uses LangGraph and LangChain. And why, or what's up with that, or whatever? The answer is back to the top here. Chatfield is both Python and TypeScript. Chatfield is just two completely independent implementations of exactly the same logic, and it's so thoroughly that the unit tests and so on are all identical. In general, at the moment, there's a bug there, but that's the project. And because it's TypeScript, it's of course also JavaScript. There are JavaScript builds, and then furthermore, on the server you may run Python or TypeScript, and then on the browser you may run TypeScript. So there's 3 environments. There's 2 server environments, Python or TypeScript, and also there's a browser environment as well. And this works. That's the milestone. I finally got it all working. It took basically kind of teaching myself. Rollup is what we're using on this project. Rollup to bundle all the TypeScript, to compile it to JavaScript, and to prepare the JavaScript build for the browser. And then one massive blocker of LangGraph claims to allow human in the loop processing. It claims to allow web applications, web environment, LangGraph running on your web browser, LangGraph applications running on your web browser, Chatfield running on your web browser. It claims these 2 things, but it does not explicitly claim that they can be done at the same time. And in fact, they cannot. And we've solved that with Chatfield, with this browser implementation. I implemented the missing code and polyfilled or backfilled this human in the loop interrupting process, and so we're golden. So with the server side gaps closed and with the build running, I'm so happy that these are true. What remains now is, besides polish and tidying and actually having a good SDK ship out, mechanically, there's just publish to pip, publish to npm, and then this will be not only true, but then of course trivially, easily installable. It will be kind of proper open source. Or I've been talking a lot about maturity. This would be a great maturity milestone would be to publish on the the repositories rather than GitHub. And so to kind of dive in, it's part of the polish. I think I wrote this up. I have a few goals. I want, on the browser side, I do want to ship at a minimum a React hook, which can just allow a kind of natural React implementation of a front end of the UI um, being driven by Chatfield. In other words, rather than this go, right now there's a go function. You say go, and it will go. Make it more React, make it more idiomatic React, and specifically make a hook, and then possibly some UI. I'm not actually. My hypothesis today is build some UI, but it's only for testing, or it could be a reference implementation. Like, I don't mind if other people take it and use it, but it's not. It's what I've been saying. It's secondary code, not primary code. It's more for testing that the primary code is working properly, rather than that it's also intended to be some sort of bulletproof or useful or generic or thoroughly debugged or robust code. I don't want that. It's hard enough to ship all this code out as it is. I don't want more code to maintain. So React Hook is the answer here. And other unrelated things like around just some final kind of spit and polish. So that's where we've got. Oh, you know what I need to do is update this onboarding documentation. I did onboarding documentation like a week ago. Somebody asked in chat, or no, and he messaged me on LinkedIn. Oh yes, Sid. His name is Sid. Messaged me on LinkedIn and said, "How do I onboard?" And I documented everything and I demonstrated in that video. And most of that, certainly the Python is definitely still good, but the TypeScript has improved substantially, and the JavaScript and the browser story has all improved substantially. So gotta go update that. Let me just read Friday's diary and then get going for sure. So I already demonstrated these security improvements. I wouldn't call it improvements. Claude Code wrote this, and I greenlit it, but I don't know if it's improvements. But these security levels do exist. I did confirm and play with the minified builds, but they are still disabled just because I don't need them at the moment. And then the development code, that minimal.html, did get a rewrite. And I don't care. That's like super, super secondary code. Okay. Okay. Oh, don't care yet. Create Chatfield examples. Okay. So that's the update. So now we're like officially going. All right. Okay, thank you. There's my... Exactly. God, I'm such a consultant. I want to do a from to. Either like actual ugly HTML code and or an ugly you know, form UI as rendered, right? Then some kind of paradise, right? Promise/promised land of conversation. You know what else would be fun? Be a GitHub. I'm gonna do a GitHub ticket to remind me. Make another. Let's do it. Make it short, right? Short. To remind me. Oh, to see about building a reference implementation for voice UI in Chatfield. That's the point. Oh, you know another one? To remind me. Make another short GitHub issue to remind me of oh, to look into what do you call it? Web LM support for Chatfield. And in general, 2 more tickets, right? Issues. 1, remind me. Okay. And then 2 will be, open source model support. Either directly from Chatfield and or the light LM proxy. Maybe with, for the direct mode, I would Llama, right? Llama CPP, right? Open, what's the other one? Some studio. What's it called? LM Studio. All right. Good, we're making issues. All right. Oh yeah, there's a massive walkthrough this thing showed me. And then wasn't there an entire conversation? / resume. Oh wait, blah. Oops. No. What was it? UI. Yeah, terminal setup. What? Uh-oh. / terminal. Ah. Oh, cannot run. Whoa. To set up the shortcut. Tmux? Are you kidding me? Configures a convenient shift enter. Wait. I know I can use Python. That's it? Okay, so they're telling me okay, let's try it. They're telling me I have to run it from outside of GNOME terminal. I've never seen that before. Okay. / terminal setup. What is it doing? Why is it not letting me do that? I could do it with Tmux. Why won't it let me do it here? Oh, it's not in this like graphical version. How do I like downgrade back to the CLI? I know what I could do. I could just do it here, I think. Yeah. Installed VS Code terminal, shift enter key binding. Okay. Whoa, shift enter. That's no good. That's totally not going to work in my... So now I can go blah, shift enter. Oh, that's lame. Oh, it's just doing a search and replace? That's dumb. Okay, whatever. I mean, it's fine. All right. Okay. So that's totally not going to help me here. Yeah, totally doesn't help. Okay. Didn't help. Now, maybe if I ran it in Tmux or something, right, and then I run Claude. Now, do I get it? Nope. Okay. Exit, exit, exit. Okay. Don't care. Okay. Now, and oh, there's some more problem. Oh, you know what I need to get Claude Code actually genuinely working on? Let's do this. Let's go to Python and PyTest. Let's go to TypeScript and test. Let's just see a bunch of tests pass real quick. Make sure everybody's happy. And then, right. Oops, env. I need my environment variable. It should be the same here. Okay. Now I have API keys. This with the computer lost power, so everything, I lost all my environment variables in my shell sessions, terminal sessions. It's the greatest developing nation in the world, the United States. I'm so proud of it. Okay, 82 passed and 86 passed. So everything's passing. I have some problems. Okay, show me. Yeah, let's do this and think mode. Like as much as reasonable, identical test suites, identical / parallel test suites in both Python and TypeScript. Run both and show me a plan. Show me the status of sync and it worked to bring them. All right, let's go. So, wait, stop. Let me source the Python virtual environment, and let's also pull in the environment variables. So now Claude Code will have all the access that it needs. And I'm just going to rerun that entire. Hey. Resume. A major goal. Yeah. Hey, it's not my history. Let me just copy paste here. Don't know what's going on. Paste. All right. I'll just let it do it again. Oh, there's MCP tools also I wouldn't mind doing. I'm just going to knock that out real quick. What is it? It's like MCP, what do you call it? Playwright. Yeah, this. And it's the Claude Code command. Like if you there's Reddits and stuff. Yeah, exactly. It's just like one command, npx something. npx, where is that? No. This is cool. Playwright MCP. There's one from Microsoft though. This is it. Claude MCP add. Yeah, it's this. Yep. Simon Willison, Sung Hero, thank you. Yeah. So let's just go top level. I don't know why. So there's MCP. Now, wait a second. Yeah. Hold on. Oh gosh. Hold on. I'm going to drop out MCP here. Whoa. Yikes. Playwright. Yeah, MCP servers. I'm just going to drop this out by hand. Yeah. Any more Playwright? Nope. Okay. The reason is I think I want to do this on a project level so that if people clone this project, then Claude Code can also do the same things on their project. Claude Code is part of the developer environment, the developer toolchain, the developer stack. So try that. What about add -- help? Comment that. Yes, scope, exactly. So it'd be set environment variables. So we go scope equals project -t transport, gonna be standard IO. Let me try this -- scope project. Let's try that -- scope project transfer. So set WebSocket header. No. Environment variables. That's pretty awesome. We'll skip it. And then there's the name. So we'll call it Playwright. and then is the command. Yep. Go. Aha, mcp.json. So, well, let me just, whoa. Okay. It'll be ready for Claude Code in a moment here. And then the other thing though is I want to, in Claudey, well, have I run my cron? Yeah. What is that, Docker? Here it is, Google Chrome, yeah, list 262. What I want to do is run my own Chrome with the remote debugging port listening here, and then tell Claude Code's Playwright to connect to my running Chrome, not the Chromium, nothing headless, and just tell it to connect directly into my Chrome. I do this all the time with Playwright in many projects. Actually, I don't know if this is a well-known thing. I think a lot of developers would benefit a lot from getting a good like Playwright setup, connecting into your running browser, because your running browser is connected to so much stuff. It's like a power tool. You could definitely hurt yourself, but it's powerful. Okay. What are we doing? Yeah. Here we are. Whoa. Jeez. This is the plan? Wait, did I like control O this or something? This is crazy. Here we are. Okay. 95% synchronized. TypeScript has 5 tests that don't exist in Python. It throws when no API key is provided. It defaults to strict mode, right? Okay, so let's see. So that's the point, is it can't just be copy paste because Python actually behaves differently. You know what I want to do is talk to this thing. API key validation. Accepts the API key from the environment. Test 2, relative URL handling. It add to handles none base URL. Okay. Browser only tests. Browser specific and don't apply to Python. Defaults to strict mode in browser. Okay, I'm going to change this plan. What's going on? No. No. Why can't you do shift return? It blows my mind you can't do shift return in this terminal. There must be some deep reason. It's ridiculous. Okay. Actually, let me say this. Do phase 1. Okay. Bypass permissions. Correct. This will be good. This will be good. Now, this is... NPX. Oh, you know what I could do? NPX. Now, you know what would be nice would be to change into TypeScript and do it there. That's fine. So then let's do this. -- help. Let's see if that works. Yay. Ooh, very good. Very good. Uh, ooh, this is totally gonna work. CDP endpoint. I think it's the CDP endpoint. I forget what CDP means. Client debugger protocol, something like that. Browser debug protocol. Client. That's it. Device. Headless. Cool. No sandbox. Cool. Port to listen. Oh wow, for SSE. Oh nice. Secrets, shared browser context. Okay. Shared browser context. Maybe I do want that. So I would want this and then maybe. Not sure. Reuse the same browser context between all connected HTTP clients. I don't know. User agent, viewport size. Okay. Okay. That's pretty cool. Allowed hosts. Okay. So that would be like the code there. Stop it. Yeah, that would be the code there. So then if I... Right, it's not going to let me put comments. It'd be something like this. I need to fix that. It'd be something like that. Whoops, can't do that. Let's do it this way so I can, or it doesn't really matter, but okay, so then that -- CDP endpoint needs to be, oh yeah, let's definitely do that. I want to say, what is that? Grep Chrome. Yeah, 9222. This. Yeah. Wait, Google Chrome or Chrome? Chrome. Nope. Google. Yep. So it's 9222. So I think that means the endpoint is like this. HTTP, like localhost 9222. I think that's the endpoint. Let's just see what happens. Oh, now my browser needs to, so let me just try to stop it. And then, no Chrome running, Chrome crash pad, it's fine, it's fine. So then we would run, what was that? 262? There it is. Oh dear, it's logging out. Whew, okay. Let's not do that. Let me save it. Copy this rather. So that totally works. So let's, do I have Chrome? Nope. So we'll do new window, boom. Ooh. Google Chrome, there's the remote debugging port. Let's just run it in the background. So there's Chrome. Here's Chatfield. Everybody's happy. But then, ooh, let me just log out of here. Or say, okay, so we'll see if, in fact, let's just test it. Claude. Oh, nice. MCP server found. Use it. Thank you. So, right. Well, that's weird. I would have hoped you would see it in your system prompt. Wonderful. So, yeah. So let's see if that can work. Use Playwright to tell me, on Wikipedia and tell me what you learn about it. Let's try that. So what should happen is it's going to jump. Yeah. It should jump to my browser now if this works. Cool. Is that right? Oh my gosh. Did I not run it with dangerously allow? Exceeds maximum allowed tokens. Whoa. Axolotl. It's working. It's working. It's driving my... Oh my god. Take a screenshot. It's driving my browser. I should have done something more fun like this. And then the terminal. Yep. Cool. Totally working. That was way easy. I read some Reddit posts and stuff. People said this is easy to do. So I'm super happy. Apparently, this is one of the most sort of high value MCP tools there is for Claude Code for obvious reasons. Now I can use my browser. Good, Axolotl. What am I thinking of? What's an animal that I know of? Oh, toke gecko. So then if I, ooh, let's do, come here. Left, good. Yeah, there it is, toke gecko. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Perfect. Mm-hmm. It's going to be insane to allow these permissions, but this is wonderful. So I can use this. I could write some slash commands. You know, I could write some what are they called? Are they called aliases? No, they're called commands. I could write some commands. Yeah, yeah. If you don't know this animal, they say toke. They say toke. They say their own name. They introduce themselves basically their entire lives. They just introduce themselves to you while you try to sleep. Yeah, at least concern. Um, very happy. So that's MCP. Wonderful. That's another little side quest. Whoops, killed my browser. All right, we're done with that. Well, that totally works. Let's just check that in. Oh, look at that. Oops. Oh, wow. Very interesting. It very cool. Let's see if that happens again. Oops. MCP servers. MCP, CDP endpoint. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's just commit that. Oh. Yeah, I want to do this. I'm going to commit my entire command that I ran. npx playwright -- CDP endpoint. Let's just copy and paste all this stuff. Copy paste space HTTP. I'll just put it in quotes just for fun. Paste and -- share browser contacts. So that's gonna do that. Whoa, got single quote issues. I have double single quotes. Let me fix that. We can't have double single quotes. We can have nested single quotes. Okay. Good. Good. So then that commit is just, hey, here's the command that I ran and it generated this file. Typically for myself, if I ever commit generated code in the traditional sense, like not generative AI, but generated code, I like to check in like the exact command I ran, like to a copy paste level so that others can see. It's not like, oh, I added this or I added this package. It's here's the exact command I ran. It's fast for me. I just copy and paste the command I ran and push that commit message. And then it's clear for the reader because I don't have to summarize what happened. Character for character, I capture this is what we did. So very happy. Now what? Let's keep going. We're supposed to be doing user interfaces. Okay. All right, phase 1 is done. Okay, so if phase 1 is done, whoops. We'll run some tests. Do it again. What's that S? Skip? I don't want skips. I want exactly the same test suite. Even if I have to write I'd rather have no-op tests, frankly, than dissimilar pass pass rates or counts, dissimilar counts of tests. I do, because I think it's so powerful for someone to say, "Oh, they're not just similar, they're exactly the same." That's a lot more work, or at least it's a lot more consideration. Okay, and what was skipped? Python uses a init chat model which validates API key lazily at invocation time, not at initialization. Let's go look at that. I don't think I agree with that. Let's go read that code. So that'll be Python test code. Test interviewer. pytest.mark.skip. Okay, let's go read this. I don't know if I agree. Init. So we can try. Let's see. PyTest. Here we go. So let's just copy this test here. Copy, paste. All right. So we'll run that one test. Skipped. Okay. So let me save it. Clear os.environ. Chatfield.interviewer.init chat model. It throws. Let's see if I can not do that. It throws when no API key is provided. This test exists in TypeScript but behaves differently in Python. TypeScript validates API key and initialization time. No, it doesn't. Python's init chat model validates API lazily when the elements are... What? Chatfield.interviewer.init chat model. Okay, in the interviewer for Python, init underscore chat underscore model. Init chat model. That's LangChain. Yeah. So, let's close roll up. Okay, so let's close some stuff. So we're in the interviewer. This is the test. Let's go test Python to interviewer Python. And then let's go interviewer TypeScript. And then to the right of that, we'll do interviewer test TypeScript here. Okay. Okay. Here. It throws when no API key is provided, right? Throws when no API key is provided. Okay, let's go look over here. Throws when no API key is provided. Okay. Temporarily remove the variable, right? So we delete it out. And then we expect it to throw that there's no key. It seems like Python would do, seems like Python could do the same thing. Okay. So let's go read the implementation in the, whoops, that's the wrong file. It's the interviewer.ts. Let's go read that. Let's go see OpenAI underscore API. Yeah, here. Okay. Resolve the API key. I want to get Claude Code to like go in here and tell me the exact differences, but okay. Okay, so if the API key is not passed in, and there is this process.env, then the API key will be pulled in from the environment. And then if that still hasn't defined anything, then we throw. That's how that works. Then we throw. Okay. Okay. Let's go read Python. Right? So here's Python. API key already works. Server environment. Okay. Initialize LLM. Use the mockup. Okay. Oh, I think like the comments, like the code has interviewer init. So here's all the builders. Wait. Oh yeah, there's like totally different code. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna get into Claude Code. Let's get into Claude Code. Maybe I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it in the big terminal here. Okay. I'm gonna leave this conversation. No. Instead, read. Okay, let me save my work. Instead, interviewer init function in both languages, and give me in both languages. Okay, let's table phase 2 for now, for a short high priority sync of the like code and logic in the interviewer init. Read the latest interviewer init function in both languages. Right, let me say it this way. At least broad flow, comments, names of variables, names of methods, as much as possible. If a developer knows one code base, they should be super familiar. Other, right? Okay. Both languages, and give me a report on the differences which need to be corrected. Okay, so get me a report, thinking mode, go. Use /feedback. Boy, this thing asking how it's doing is becoming extremely annoying and unprofessional. I mean, that's extremely unprofessional. Every day it asks me how it's doing. That's not what a software assistant does. It's certainly not in the middle of talking about synchronizing some code bases. There must be a way to turn it off, right? Oh, let's get the browser back. Chrome. Yes. No, not permissions. It's worse. It's not permissions. It's not permissions. It's the stupid feedback. Yes. Yes. Claude, include, prevent. I have searched existing issues. Yeah, 3 weeks ago. I don't want to submit feedback. Nag, how is the current session going? Absolutely. What's the status here? Open? Oh man. Okay. Yep. Same here. Totally. Bug. Yes. 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 Never ask me again. It's not to me about the convenience of the data. I don't mind because this is an open source project. On a case by case basis, I'm quite comfortable sharing and allowing some of that. But yeah, while the console's meant for, if a number is entered, yeah, precisely. I think if you queue up a message, yeah, it appears to store its state in the field feedback survey state. Oh, nice. Did he do that? Did that work? 21143 2037. We could try that. Settings.json. Ooh. Let's try that. Let's see if that works. Okay. Okay. Back to the plan. All right. Delete Alice Bob. Great. Extract graph setup method. Move graph construction. Perfect. Perfect. Fix detect dangerous endpoint signature. Base URL security mode. TypeScript. Detect dangerous endpoint. This.llm. And security mode. Right. Both should accept the same inputs. Yes. Do that. Rename config param match TypeScript. Okay. Okay. Reorder initialization. Wonderful. Remove commented model IDs. Delete. Yeah. Add browser server comments. Yes, exactly. Do all of this. Update. Oh, God, this is perfect. Confirm both implementations work. Run full test suites. Okay, so I'm going to say yes, go. And then I'm going to say if the... Okay. I need to put that in my Claude.md. Okay. Let me go off and drink some coffee. Mm. Mm-hmm. Oh. Um. Yikes. What is this? Browser extension? Yeah, browser extension. Oh, streaming. Whoa, failed test. Ooh. Did not raise. Oh, this is great. Let's see what it does. I would rather have a no-op unit test that provides, is not skipped, which provides total identical like structure, test suite structure in both languages rather than a skip. my hypothesis is new developers who see literally identical test suites and outcomes will realize the like will gain commitment from Chatfield. Commitment from. Okay. Um. Meanwhile, I will look into this and return to you with guidance. All right, you do your thing and I'll do mine. So it starts doing. I'm just gonna make it update. All right, so let's get out of here. So it's saying npm test. Oops, PyTest. Let's drink some coffee. Okay, there's the fail. Four three client error. Oh, good. Wait, API key expired? Is that actually true? No. I think the answer is no. Look, if I go to examples, PD. Whoa. What is that? It underscore throws. No. What is that? Dash K. Here it is. Yeah, it throws when no API key provided. Uh-huh. And that got a 403. Did it? Okay. Okay, fine. Okay, good. So we found the unit test that fails. Oh no, we're compacting already? Dear. Zero skip test. Right. Very good. No skip policy. Chatfield maintains identical test with zero skip tests. Never use skip. When language differences prevent, implement a no-op test that passes. Totally. Document the difference with comments. Right. New developers see literally identical test counts and outcomes. Hey, that's my wording. You language model, you. Yes, totally. Genuine two-language commitment. I love it. Okay. And we're compacting a conversation. Very good. So now what do I want? From LangChain data. I wonder if I could fix this real quick. What is that? Agent. Oh, I think I remember this error was tricky because it wasn't my code. I'm gonna ignore this for now. Okay. You. Okay. Oh, I think it's actually writing code now. Yeah, look, it's writing code. I told it to do Chatfield, but okay. Well, so I hope it doesn't edit code as I'm doing this. Matching TypeScript order. Okay. Initialize LLM. Uh-huh. Okay. Interview. Perfect. There's no comment, so keep it like that. Initialize LLM. I hope it doesn't rewrite this. That's doing tests. Good, get going. I feel like actually for the first time on this project, whoa. Mhm. No skip. Thank you. No skip. Cool. Perfect. All test pass. Yikes. Okay. Well, then if I run mine, it should pass now. Whew, man, these things are crazy. Oh, I was saying, I think maybe for the first time, I feel a little bit like I've got a little bit of sea legs, like I said. This is completely flickering for me. This is totally I don't know if it's I don't think it's in an infinite loop. Maybe it is. No, it's running. No, it's got some sort of render bug. What if I do this? Nope. Okay, it's fixed. Yikes. Flicker warning, jeez. Okay. Oh, isn't there like a slash cost? Hmm. Yep. Yeah, it's really a real-time system because I was thinking, I mean, 200 USD per month could get a lot of time from like definitely a junior or even an intermediate level software engineer on like Upwork, um or something like that. Fiverr, you get design, you get human work. And what I really, what's interesting, the reason I've said in the past I'm optimistic for digital professions and creative professions, I am not expecting to see, I'm expecting to see churn and creative destruction and innovation, but I'm not expecting to see destruction of, professions and jobs. Exactly. Because the thing is, now on Upwork, I can hire somebody who can sit here all day with Claude Code and, or, the Adobe tools, all this stuff. So I'm like, I could either pay for Claude Code or I could pay for an expert to, fight with Claude Code on my behalf. And at 5 p.m. turn in like a lot of work, a lot of work, a lot of stuff. Um, I love how it's changed from, if you like, Boolean, black and white, um, true or false of your, like, your expertise, your, my like, uh, wheelhouse, the code, the things that I know how to do. So, for example, I know more personally more back end stuff than front end stuff. and so on. I know some front end, I know a lot of front end compared to many people, but that's my circumstance. And so if someone says like, let's launch like, what's the one that competes with Streamlit? I've never used it. Should I just ask Claude? I'm so lazy. Yeah. Um, let's see if it just knows from its LLM. Let's just ask the LLM. This is where you get hallucinations. This is where I don't think these things are really as helpful as people think. Gradio. Yeah, it's Gradio. It's Gradio. It's Gradio. It's Gradio. Almost certain. That completely rings a bell. So I've never used Gradio. I've used a ton of Plotly. I've used a ton of this. Whoa. I've used a ton of R-Shiny. Let's not talk about it. I should put that in my resume. That'd be hilarious. I should put that in my resume. I forgot about R-Shiny. Jeez. Whew. Coming from like a web stack, R-Shiny is simultaneously super impressive. It's actually a great example. It's one of the big examples of my career where I realized there's a massive difference between like being correct to an engineer and just like solving $1 million problems. And it doesn't matter what's correct. It matters whether you solve the big problem or not. And R-Shiny is just like super easy way for, scientists to speak to executives. That's a huge capability. That's basically what R-Shiny, did. It allowed data scientists, especially obviously, and data engineers and many people to tell their story. In a at work, I would say to meet their audience where they are, to have a shiny, I would say clean and clear, dashboard, visualizations and stuff. I mean, here's what's happening. Here's reality, right? So great. I'm looking forward to never using Shiny again, though. It's like a torrid love affair, from a storybook or from a dime store book or something. Okay. Ooh, that's interesting. The answer is Gradio for sure. Okay, cool. Tell me about Gradio. And compare and contrast with Streamlit. Let's see if this thing's biased or whatever. Are you going to research? Okay, so this thing claims to be done meanwhile. Gosh, I started on 2 days in a row might be a little bit, I'm feeling a little guilty. I better do my plan. One day it was a pleasure to relax, but 2 days is a vice, right? So, all right, what did we change here? Oh yeah, doesn't matter. So the Claude's changed. Whoa, test harmony. That's in the top level Claude. Cool. And then in Python, there's more. Good. Okay. Wonderful. Okay, let's do that. Uh-huh. Whatever. It speaks for itself. I don't want to message it. Okay, so I refuse to summarize an LLM's summary. Feels degrading. Is that prejudice? Is that just a personal problem I need to work out? So, oh, those are my notes to myself for sure. All right, what's next? Okay, I want to go through this a little more carefully. Yeah. I want to go through this a little more carefully. It's not bad though. It's claiming that it's totally done. This is a tiny amount of change for being totally done. So let's see. What I kind of want to do is go like side by side. Is this going to work? Mm-hmm. Yes. And then can I? Yeah, that is exactly what I want. And then let's go, which one's Dexter and which one's Sinister? Let's go, for some reason I want TypeScript on the right. Where is it? Can I like move it over? There, yes. Perfect, perfect. Okay, TypeScript on the Python on the left and TypeScript on the right. And the color of my editor indicates the language we're doing, because there was a while there I just constantly kept programming in the wrong language. So hopefully this is slightly better. Okay. Okay, so the dangerous endpoints, right on. Okay, good. List of official, so no. It's not in the TypeScript, so we're not. It speaks for itself. It's just called dangerous endpoints. What do you want? I'm not commenting a variable called dangerous endpoints. Okay, next. Okay, so this is all basically fine. What's up with this config? I don't know if I like this. Who uses this? Think configurable thread ID. Nope. This is get state. Oh, so get state needs a config object. Go. That's a good point. Where is the config object? Okay, I'd have to make it here. All right, I'll keep it. I'll keep it. I'll keep it. The problem is, maybe I should write this down. Oh, no, I'm doing two languages right now, so let me keep it. Let me contain this blast radius here. But the problem is, I think LangGraph has a config data type, like object class or object or something. They've got their own like config object. So then it's a little dangerous for me. It's a little cheeky for me to say, well, I've got a config, and this is just a plain JavaScript object. But what it is not is this config type from the framework. And so that's how you get bugs, is stuff like that. I mean, in TypeScript. So in fact, that was my thought, was like either have a proper config object as part of the, state of this interview class. Fine, if that's a thing. Or alternatively, just have the thread ID as part of the state and say, yeah, I've got a thread ID associated with me. And then anytime anyone needs a config, the only relevant part, the only thing that matters is the thread ID. Everything else is just like making this data structure. It's nothing. The thread ID is literally the only information in this entire thing. It just needs to be structured this way to be passed into other objects and things like that. So I'm not going to do that. Oh, let me do a Claude Code directive. Claude Code directive. Claude Code. Hello, Claude Code. We love you, Claude Code. I want to change the interviewer implementation in both languages, so that rather than having a config object, this.config or self.config with this data structure, Let's just track a unique thread ID and initialize it with the UUID4 code like it works today. Today the implementation allows passing in a thread ID or generating one with the UUID function call. So the change would be to track that thread ID in the class, in the object, but not the config object anymore. And so as a consequence, some of the code elsewhere in the interviewer implementation might need to create an object literal as needed. For example, in the go function, this is almost certainly the case. And yes, I see two instances in the go function where this .config is assumed to be the proper object, but really we could create a literal object on the spot there, and it simplifies the data model of the primary interviewer object quite substantially. So please do all of that. Thank you so much. Okay. So from the transcript of this YouTube video, Claude Code will pull the transcript and then do what I just said. That's these things. So thank you, Claude Code. Okay. For today, I'm keeping it. Let's move on. In fact, I think to just speak that out and prompt that out, I probably could have made the change. But the point is, don't do two things at the same time. Never do two things at the same time. Always solve one problem at a time. That's how you get that's how you miss a deadline, is trying to solve two problems at the same time. You get twisted up. Okay, keep going. So here we go, LLM, off we go. Boom. So the logic is different already. Yeah, this is wrong already. If not API key, security mode, determine security mode. Okay. Oh, I see. Man, should I just do it by hand? So it would basically be if LM. It would be that. Else. Yeah, like why didn't it do that? Okay, so this definitely, here's what I want. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to make Claude Code do it. So I'm going to say win equals none. And I'm going to make a little keyword to like specifically indicate like the point here is we're going parallel to the other language. I know it seems maybe weird or too obsessive or something, but my thought is like they're drifting already. They're drifting, and in fact, I've specifically told it from occasionally, keep it tidy. I know I could have a CI/CD hook or something that does it, but the point isn't like make it run Claude Code more frequently. The point is like, where's the line? When is it drifted too far? And the answer is just keep it real tight. The only place to kind of keep your house in order is, on that strict side. You can tell if you're strict, if something's not good, if you've got a bug or something's going wrong. But if you're not strict, if you've allowed things to drift already and then you get into a problem, Again, like I said, it might be the case that now you have two problems. You have dissimilar implementations on two. It might be subtle. It might be the difference between a none and, something like that. Um, so I'm just kind of justifying. So what I'm doing here is kind of insane. So I'm gonna say, like, I want to do like a certain keyword or like a hashtag almost. Um, like keeping parallelism. No, that's not a perfect word. Isomorphism with TypeScript. Yeah. Isomorphic, right? Yeah. Let me actually do it this way. Here's the point. Isomorphic, right? I almost want to do hashtag isomorphic, but no. Here's the point. Oops. Yes. Yes. Wow, did it just pull that across languages? If it did, that's really great. Wait, let me do that. Let me do that again. If I just do const um target equals true. Let's just do that real quick. Very important, right? Okay, save it. What if I just go right here? Whoa, that's good. That's good. Okay, that's good. That's impressive. I didn't know it could do that. Good. Good. I like that. Yeah, I like that. Very cool. Okay. So that's good context engineering. Thank you. Um, thank you, GitHub Copilot. And the point is, I'm going to tell Claude Code document this for developers and the Claude.md files and so forth. If this word isomorphic shows up, these are like anchor points where um, the code is like deliberately parallel here. So there's no setting the base URL. Does this thing allow a base URL? Yeah, it must, right? Oh, here we are. Yep. Base URL. So that's good. Yeah, what LLM ID, does that happen? So base URL doesn't matter. Server environment, base URL already works due to underlying OpenAI client. Okay. What about all this LLM ID stuff? That's got to be in here. API key. Resolve API key. LLM config. So that's this. So they're way off again. These are way off. Base URL, API key. Yikes. Okay. Is not none. Is not none. Okay. So what I'm doing is carefully populating this dictionary without having any values that are none. I guess the reason was I was nervous. I didn't want to pass something if I didn't. I don't know why. I don't remember why, but whatever. GPT-4o. This is way off. Initial. Okay. Yeah, this is way off. And then why? Chat model. So if there's a config. Oh, same thing. Okay, I must have been super careful. This must have been breaking a lot. There's a lot of lines of code to like populate this thing only if it's truthy or defined or whatever you want to say. And then also I don't even pass in the keyword argument if it's empty. Okay, I might have seen it in a walkthrough or something and been careful. I definitely have this philosophy that's like just copy and paste. Don't ask questions. Copy and paste the walkthrough. Like don't don't get clever. So do it exactly the way they say to do it, character for sure. So maybe that's why I did it this way. Okay, so good. LLM config. And so it's just a little object here. So this is way off. Uh-huh. And then security mode. Uh-huh. Yep. Python is server side only. Uh-huh. Okay. I think I know what I want. Initialize the LLM. What if I say isomorphism? If I say isomorphism or isomorphic, I'll just say isomorphic. I mean, this is a disaster. This is way off. I'm trying to decide whether I want to make Claude do this or do it myself. This is like so off. So you can pass in a base URL. Okay, I think I know what I'm gonna do. Yeah. I'm gonna make it identical. Okay. Maybe I'll do it like this. When equals false. I don't know what I want. I don't know why this drifted. What I'm trying to do is correct the drift and then also come up with some principles to say how are we going to maintain this? How am I going to make Claude Code make sure that it doesn't drift? And the answer is because it's a language model, I want to use some language to kind of anchor its behavior. So that's why I'm using this word isomorphic. The plan is to tell it, like, if you see this word, it's telling you how to maintain these exact lines of code right around this tag or right around this keyword. Um, mhm. So the browser environment, I think, let me experiment with this, right? Python, so TypeScript, um, so slash Chatfield, right? TypeScript, um, sets a default, uh, wait, maybe I should just make it like crash. Yeah, let's just make it crash actually. Let's make it throw. If you don't pass it in, because I mean, this is ridiculous anyway. Slash Chatfield slash OpenAI. Who cares? I made that up. This is not a thing. Nobody's gonna like do this. The only reason they would do this is the Chatfield documentation says, here is how to make this thing work to save like one parameter call. And this massive thing, like everyone's building LLM apps. It's this huge thing on everyone's mind. Everyone's got all their architectures and stuff. So it's top of mind. There's no way. Yeah, yeah. Okay, good. So let's update. So I know what I want to do. Let me save it. I'm gonna do. Let me finish isomorphism. Yeah. Um. If the browser environment throws, wouldn't it throw here as well? Oh, I see. It lets the. Okay, no, we'll just keep them parallel. It doesn't have to be perfect code with no bugs. It just has to be parallel. So I'll let the thought occurred to me like, why am I checking all this anyway? And then I even commented it out because, so that's fine. Yeah, let's do it. Isomorphism. TypeScript has some logic to, yeah, exactly. Set up browser environments. Python has, Python like mocks this. Python no ops this, right? Let's just say that. So here's the point. You have, oh, in fact, let's see if this thing, so if, wait, initialize the LLM, right? Self.lm equals LLM, else, yes, yeah, uh-huh, else, so let me delete this, const win. If I'm gonna press the O button on my keyboard and hopefully I'll get the same comment. Oh, come on, write it. Hold on, let me give it a white space. No, okay, hold on. It'll do it. ISO, yes. Yes. Perfect, yes. It got it, because it's a language model. It made the right guess. So the point is identical comments in both code bases and like identical-ish implementations. So here's what I'm thinking. I don't know, maybe I'm just going crazy on a weekend, but the point would be like this, right? Yeah, exactly. Browser environment, right? Yeah, actually we could do it like this. No. And then we're just going to pass. I think this is fine for immature code base. If false, pass is totally good code. Super good code. Because the point, like one of the a very high priority of a code base in an immature phase, as opposed to a mature phase, is like understandability, legibility, new literally no there are no experienced people in on the earth. So being convenient for people to pick it up is um higher priority than, for example, like the Windows NT code base where they can make you pick it up. If you have the privilege of working on that, they'll make you pick it up. Presumably, I'm sure they're, I don't know anything about it, but that's the difference. So what am I doing? Server environment? What the heck am I doing? So already works due to the underlying, yeah. I feel like if the base, okay, browser environment, obviously nothing. So this would be server environment. So if false, yeah, browser environment, server environment, yeah. OpenAI base URL already works. Trying to decide if I don't like that anymore. Should I throw? No, I won't throw, and then I won't test. That's exactly how that's gonna work. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Let's just take that code and stick it over here. Paste. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Wonderful. No, it needs to be like identical. Wait, then that's the bug. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, identical. Yeah, I don't think I've written code like this in my life exactly. But that's what I want. That's what I want, including the comments, you know. It's like that. They're like literally they're mirroring each other. And the point is, I want to set this up like this, and then tell the language model, this is how this works now. And then my assumption is, it's gonna do awesome. It's gonna crush this. It's super language model-y. I'm saying, here's how we do language, uh, and like, there's a reason this is structured this way. It's to match the code base on the other side, to avoid ultimately to avoid drift, to avoid code base drift. I feel like this is bizarre, but it's less likely to drift away from this, because if I'm editing server-side code here, I'm gonna see, for example, oh yeah, there's a whole browser environment. I better, it like literally just word browser right here at the right time is what I need when I'm building, who knows what on the server, in a server mindset. That's how you get bugs. That's how you get headache. That's how you miss deadlines. So, so I love this. I kind of love this madness. I've never done this, I don't think, but okay. And then meanwhile, I don't know if I'm cheating a little bit. We're not going to do anything with this OpenAI base URL. So next, okay, so the LLM ID is just totally wrong. I can't believe this has been working all this time. GPT 4.0. Oh, GPT 4.0. Yikes. So this is just super bad. Okay. Well, let's just do it. Const LMID, right? LMID. Yeah, let's just do it. So where is that? Pass here? Yeah. Yes, exactly. Let me do semicolon. Nope. Const temperature. Nope. Equals. Wait, is it not allowed to pass in temperature? Whoops. Temperature. Hey, where'd you get that? Where'd you get the temperature? Yeah, it's a parameter in init. Are you not? You'd better. Oh my gosh. Wait, thread ID? Okay, hold on. Let's do this back to isomorphism. LLM. Wait, what? Thread ID? Okay. Let's keep going. Why is that a semicolon? I don't think I've ever seen that. I don't know why that would work. Seems like a total syntax error. Maybe I could ask, maybe I don't know, maybe I can learn some TypeScript. Like that, basically, yes. Yeah, exactly. Let's just do it the same then. Oh, I know. Let's make myself a GitHub ticket. Make Claude Code like tidy the entire TypeScript code base. Create a short, right? Colon. So we want semicolons. At least just that. We don't have to roll out a huge, like, what do you call it? IDE, like a thing. Oh, 4 spaces, like Python. And then also, do we want the Python variable names? You know what we should do? Python should take the TypeScript variable names, because TypeScript people never really have underscore kind of case. They're definitely camel case community. And Python can kind of do both. So let's make Python both languages consolidate to camel case. And use identical variable names, method names, class names, etc. Using camel case. Yeah, fine. Good. We'll make a GitHub issue for that. All right. So let's keep going. I want this. So then this is sucks self. So the interview object. Oh, I see. The interview is mandatory. Is that the point? And then the options are not. Okay. Okay. Okay, for the moment, I'm going to keep them. Oh, then you know what I should do to, I know exactly what I'll do. Yes, I know exactly what I'll do. I'll do it this way. I'll say, whoops, isomorphic, was it isomorphism? Yes, isomorphism. Let's just say isomorphic. I don't think it's super important, but okay. Just let's do it this way. TypeScript has options. Keyword arcs, yeah. So we'll do it like that. And then the point is, whoops. The point is, all comments that say that they're isomorphic must exist in both languages, like identically. Oop, what was that? Dip dip, okay. Ah. So then the point is, I'm just gonna write a bunch of, again, I'm gonna write more nasty code. All of this options stuff, yeah, LLM, we're basically just gonna go thread ID, wait, const thread ID. Yes, exactly. Wait, whoa, no. It's just that, exactly. And then LLM, come on, equal, yes. Yes, exactly. Temperature. Oh. Yes. Thank you. Const temperature. Come on, write it for me. Thank you. And I know this is not like, this is not pretty. This is just not pretty. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. And then endpoint security. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, and then I can ask, there may be like more advanced syntax that I never learned because I'm old. To improve this a bit, and I could do that. Let's get it kind of working. So then the point is, then this options object never needs to be mentioned again. So for example, when we do the LLM, it's just if LLM, right? And then the code is even more parallel, right? Like that. Isomorphism. Yep, okay. Whoops, wait, what happened? Oh, here we are. So, options. Nope. Nope. Endpoint security. We'll see. Very good. Okay. Wonderful. So all these variables are unused. That's bad. We got to keep that parallel now. So now we do it. This dot config, that's way up there. Okay. So then initialize the LM self, isomorphic, TypeScript has some logic. Yes. Delete word, delete word. Okay. Python no ops. Okay. So that's totally unneeded. Good. Cannot assign because what? It's a const? Oh yeah. It's a good point. Let's make let me just switch this one. Let's just do that. Nobody look. I think it's gonna go away. It's gonna change. This code is not gonna stick like this. I just want to kind of get it out. I want to get rid of this completely. Let me just start throwing now. Let's just do it. So if you're in a browser environment, and there's no base URL, yep, then freak out. Throw. Backtick. Yeah, exactly. URL in browser environment. Good. Good enough. Perfect. Okay. Yep. So I'll just let that start throwing, or for that matter, I don't know if it does because, like I mentioned in previous work, there's not a lot of there's 0 unit testing for browser exactly. Certainly no explicit user unit testing. I would love to. I think I either wrote down or thought about. Oh, someone says hi. 2:08 p.m. Sorry, I missed you. Someone says hi. Yes, hello. Like run the test suite in the browser somehow, just to prove that Chatfield's serious. Basically, it's no joke to run it. It's like kind of It's like kind of obvious, but it's a lot of kind of elbow grease, right? It's a lot of sweat equity. It's a lot of work potentially to make it do that and make it work for a developer. Okay. Let's keep fixing bugs. This is okay. So LMID equals LMID or GPT-4o. Did I do the same thing? Yeah, I do exactly the same thing. Now, why do we prefix it like this? OpenAI colon init chat model. Let's try to do it parallel. I don't know. So there's the LMID, right? Oh, and you're not going to let me. Okay, fine. Okay. Thank you. So, and then house temp. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Yeah. Nope. Temperature is going to be a let. So we'll do the same thing. LMID temperature equals temperature or 0.0 totally. If, let's see if it does it. No. Hold on, let me copy this code over and I bet it'll get it right. Paste. So then if, come on. I don't like that. No. Membership check. Come on. Ready, go. If, yes, thank you. Good. I would not have remembered that syntax. I don't think flawlessly first try. Probably not. Okay. Wonderful. What's going on here? Good. Fine. Uh-huh. Thank you. Null? Undefined? No. Let's say null. Oh, uh-oh. It's not going to let me. What, is it going to let me do this? Is that going to work? Okay. Cool. Thank you. I'll take it. Whatever. And then I remove my comments to get it all nice. Okay, wonderful. LMID. So what's up with the API key? Yeah, why do I take it? It seems like I'm gonna try to not pass that. Let me just disable this for now. Hold on. Come here. Stop it. Yeah, exactly. Let the underlying client, and then I could remove unit tests. So who cares how this thing handles these keys? And then I don't want to really bind Chatfield to OpenAI. That's definitely something to get shipped, to get working before it ships out, is um all the other language models. Um, so I'm gonna try to make it do nothing. So now they're kind of parallel here. I'll leave that. LMID, temperature stuff, build the configuration dict for, this sounds like something the language model wrote for me. For init chat model. Yeah, this sounds like something. So if there's no API key. Oh, okay. No, this is bad code. Then what? Then I pull the Anthropic one too. This is bad code. Okay. I know. The API key could be passed in as like none. They could pass in like, let me think. The problem is if I crash for a missing API key, for sure on the browser, that's bad. If I don't crash, why am I insisting that you set it? API key. Here's the problem. If I make them pass it, then it's kind of duplicative, because then the user, like, they have to set that environment variable anyway. They're very likely to be using their own potentially client tools, OpenAI client or something. So it's likely that this is set as an environment variable. And then I'm saying, no, even though you set it as an environment variable and took the like DevOps trouble, you also have to just pass it to me explicitly. Even though literally, like, I'm not exactly using it, like, it passes it through. Um, but it's allowed to be, in the browser environment, it's allowed to be undefined there. So this is ridiculous. Let's try not passing an API key. Yeah, let's try that. Uh-huh. And then we're not gonna, it's gonna be the LMID for sure. Yeah, this code's kind of bad. Okay. LM-config. And then because the test suite is super, oh yeah, I know exactly what I'm gonna do. Because the test suite is good now and reliable, I'm gonna make this identical, and if weird little things happen because I'm passing undefineds or nulls, we'll see it. We'll see it. So temperature's undefined. I need to do this actually. Let's do this. Wait, hold on. Yeah. It can be null. This is so great. I love these language models for this. I don't remember exactly. I would have Googled this. Oh, temperature data type. Define the temperature. Let temperature colon. There you go. There you go. There you go. Number or null or undefined. Yep. Oh, I know what I can do. I know. So it's like this. Here. Or null. That's how that works. Yeah, so that'll fix it for me. Base URL. Let's just try that. So then bringing back the temperature. There. I think that may fix it. That's the point, is making it nullable will fix it. Null. That's a little bit more proper TypeScript. Okay. Next. API key. Oh, is this all new code? Oh, commenting it out is new. I'm just gonna drop it out. Let's just try to make it clean. Now what do I want to do? Let's just not throw, huh? Yeah, that's the theory. I mean, do I even want an API key? Yeah, I know what I'll do. I'll allow an API key parameter, but I'll basically ignore it. Let's drop it out of here, huh? Yeah. Yeah, I'm ignoring it here. Oh, will I have storage problems? Wait, what? Is that my television? What? Okay. Let me see if that screen captured. Yeah, totally fine. I don't know. I think fine. Okay. Concise issue, thank you. Get out of there. Okay. Okay. We're rewriting this whole thing. But that's fine. This is the initialization function for the interviewer. This is like a huge... Okay. There's not too much to it. So I'm basically happy with my... Let's actually keep doing it. Let's do kind of a second pass. Okay, isomorphic. Here it is. TypeScript. When... Yeah, so when equals false. If when, pass. And then LMID. Temperature. These need to be null. I think I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna do it more like this. Yep, like that. And then I'm gonna say no API key. API key, and then comment it out just like it is. And then, what is that? Model. Init chat model, LMID, and temperature. Oh, it is just literally a different... It's actually kind of weird. Wait, what is this? Chat OpenAI. Let's go look at that. So that's langchain / OpenAI. Oh, and I have init. Oh, interesting. Let's see if they have that. Import from at langchain / chat models. No, that's not a thing. Yeah, that's not a thing. Okay, good. So now we have a mechanism to deal with this. That's the point. That's why this isomorphic stuff exists. Is for me to say, here's the difference. Okay, so let's still do it, right? Or we could do like the keyword arguments, right? Yeah, let's do this. Isomorphic. Python uses init chat model. So lmconfig represents those keyword args. TypeScript, yes, exactly, uses, let's just say, what is that? Chat open AI? Chat open at langchain. Yeah, let's just say that. TypeScript uses chat open AI from at langchain / so I'm putting kind of TypeScript code in Python comments. This is good. I think this is good. TypeScript is from langchain / what is that? Where was it? I wanted to get it open AI. Boom. Perfect. Copy. So then down here, when we go LLM config, yep, paste, okay, that's how that works. So then they're identical. This will be an LLM config. So we'll do it like that. And then here, so it'll be the keyword arguments. Here's the point. None of this anymore. It'll go self.llm equals init no chat model keyword args. Oops, no, LM config, just like that. Nope, that's it. Nope, that's it. Yes, that's it. So all this will have to be passed in. LMID, temperature. In fact, let's get that, right? If there's a config, there will be for sure. So the config will look like this. So we need an LMID. Is this? Yes. Temperature. Is that? Uh-huh. And then the configurable is going to be set to LLM_config. Is that a thing? Oh, wait, that's me. Oh, that's this old config here. Right. Okay, so it needs to be a dictionary. Comma. Okay, boom. So that'll be base no. So this is this configurable here is this old object here. So the base URL. So let's just say base URL, base URL. And we're not going to do API key. That's out. That's the point. It's out. Okay. Done. That's the configurable. Yes. So then out base URL, API key. Done. So this init chat model is just the same stuff. Temperature. Good. Yeah, exactly. So the Python is going to go keyword arguments into this init chat model helper or something. I don't even know, but there's like deprecation warnings and things to solve. So maybe that'll solve two birds with one stone there. And so it's isomorphic. So we have the same comment. The Python uses this as keyword arguments, and then TypeScript doesn't. So API key where's the, so LMID, LMID, temperature, temperature. So, whoa, that's wrong. Yikes. That might have been a bug. That might have been a bug. Okay. Configuration sets the base URL in a similar way. Oh, good. This is this configurable. Okay, good. Good. That's good to see. Wonderful. So that's perfect. Now we go to security. Determine default security mode. Let security mode. Python, aha. We need to do some isomorphism comments for sure. Determine security. Isomorphic security modes. Both languages implement security modes levels. Python defaults to, Python is server only. Defaults. Okay. Simon, okay. Okay. Defaults. Python is server only. Defaults to, what is it called? Disabled. Type. Wait. Server side defaults to disabled in both languages, right? Surely, yeah. Both languages implement security modes. Both languages default to disabled on the server. Yeah. In server mode. Right? Disabled. Yeah, it's got to be disabled. Browser. In a browser, default is strict. Correct. Isomorphic. Both languages implement security modes. Both languages default to disabled as servers, but in a browser, the default is strict. We'll do it that way. Uses browser detection. Yep, we'll do it that way. So copy the comment. Security mode equals. Paste the comment. Substitute it with go. Thank you. Okay. So that's how that's going to work. So on Python, it's just definitely disabled. And here, endpoint security, let security mode, right? The point is, if it's a browser, right? If it's a browser, let security mode. I think we'll do it this way, right? Let's try this, huh? We can do like equals, let's say, oh, I mean, we could just do like that, huh? Like that, right? Okay. Okay. Security mode. Let security mode. I don't know how far I want to go, so that's fine. Keep it out for now. So then the point is, it's is browser question mark. Yeah, exactly. Strict. Yes, exactly. Or it would be don't they pass something in endpoint security? Or disabled, is that it? Yes, exactly. I think that's correct. It's a little bit hard to read. Can I do like this? Is that any better? I think that's much better. So oh, actually, if we're browser, we can just do it kind of this way. Or I can do it this way. Endpoint security. Or is browser. Kind of like this. Yeah, exactly. Disabled, yeah. Actually, we can wrap that up. That's fine. Stop it. J. No. Here. Here, yes. Okay. Perfect. So if I move it over, it's just a little wide. Yeah. Good. We'll take the endpoint security. Or in browser mode, we'll go strict. And in server mode, we'll go disabled. Yep. Perfect. That's good. So we're done with that, done with that, done with that. Security, I think we're done with that. And so then we detect dangerous endpoints, run endpoint security check. So let's just do it this way. So then we pass in. So then this is the next thing it was complaining about. It said, wait, you're passing in an LLM. In one language, you're passing in an LLM. And in another language, you're passing in your URL. Yep. Because the point is, I might not know my URL. API key. Wait, oh, look, there's the base URL. But it might be null. Yeah, it could be null. API key. Let me just comment that out. Is thread ID also ignored? Yeah, let's comment it out. Thread ID. No. Oh, here. Like that. Perfect. Okay, perfect. So this is all isomorphic. Detect dangerous endpoints. So let's just go see. Because the problem was the base URL might not be passed in, but the LLM does know its base URL. So let's see what happens if I change it to self.lm. Let's go look at detect dangerous endpoints here. So this would be, instead of a base URL, it would be LLM. Wait, no, it would be LLM colon, I don't even know. Let's just do that. There's the mode. Check for dangerous. So then this is totally, I'm just going to delete the comments. Raise value error if mode is strict. Or actually, this is okay. The args, it's not base URL anymore. It's LM. Right, disabled is just logs. Oh yeah. We don't need to say that. Yeah, okay, good. Args, and it raises. Yeah, perfect. We'll keep that. So now we have to figure out this base URL. Equals LM dot. What is it on the other side? Here. LM dot client config. Let's see. Oh, is there any kind of LM? Self.lm. Is there any data type? No, huh? Ah, this is the downside of these types. I have to do it at runtime if I want to figure it out. Let's just try it. What is that? Base URL? No. It's not that. Whoa. Client config. No, it's not going to be that. Configuration, no. lm.config.get. Parse URL, always parse, even in disable mode, yes. Print? Whoa, okay. Relative or, okay, return. Relative URLs are always safe, okay. And this says we didn't pass one in. No, huh? Let's throw. Yeah, let's throw. Oops. Yeah, exactly. We could try that. All right, so now I'm assuming there is a base URL. So that's all of this stuff. So this is a difference, right? Safe, base URL relative or invalid. Right, okay. So this is just returning out, and then this is, so this is saying if it's not defined at all. I guess if it's not defined at all, yeah, that's right. I know. This is an error for me. This is not an actual error. Okay, done. Yep. Because the point is it just needs to warn. And this is extremely unlikely. Most people running it in server mode or running it in disabled. That's like the way it should run. But I want the logic the same because this is basically security related. So I want to be kind of extra careful. That's sort of the point of all of this. And I mean, there could be like none of this implemented. Like you could have none of this in Python. But I want to try it. So let's do this too. Let's break it here. And how do I run this? Let's run something. Let's run like just a example maybe. Favorite number. So let's get TypeScript out of here for a second. So if I go to favorite number and say run the debugger, where's the debugger go? Debugger. And I say, what is it? Python current file. Where's that? Python current file. Go. Uh-oh. I need to compare. Test. No. Oh, good, it worked. Oh, no, it didn't. Okay, fine. Stop it. I need to resolve differences. Okay. What is it doing? Okay, done. Check for API key. Okay, good. So let's pull that in and go again, basically. Favorite number. Failed to save. Let's say is the content of is newer. Compare your version or overwrite. No, I definitely don't want to overwrite. Okay. In fact, this test, let's just do this. I know exactly what I want. Edit. Right? And close it. Interviewer.test, right? Perfect. Okay. Wonderful. Got it. Got it. lm.config. Is that a thing? No. Wait, missing a parameter? Positional? Oh, look at that. I have to pass in a positional. Okay. Gotta pass in a positional. Init chat helper params. Yeah. Base.py line 601. So then I passed it in wrong. Okay. Here. So they're telling me it has to be LLM ID. Like that. Like that. I think that's what they're telling me it has to be. Let's try it. 1 sec. Go. Oh, testinterview.py. Here. No. Mm-hmm. Okay. Configurable is not default parameter. Wait, what? User warning. Configurable is not default parameter. Configurable was transferred to model keyword args. Please confirm that configurable is what you intended. Wait, what? It's throwing it? Whoa. They're saying here, this configurable init chat model. Let's just go read it. Model provider, configurable fields. Oh. Configurable fields. And then there's keyword arguments. Oh. Configurable is not default parameter. All right. Model provider. Yeah. Configurable fields. Keyword args. Does it warn me in here? What? Who's warning like this? Oh, configurable is transferred to model underscore keyword args. Why? What? Okay, show me this code here. Yeah, here we are. Model underscore keyword args. I don't see that anywhere. Okay. Configurable is not default parameter. Configurable was transferred to model underscore keyword args. Please confirm that configurable is what you intended. Excuse me? Excuse me? Yeah. There it is. Yeah. Okay. What? Let me read. It's gotta be length chain core, right? Let's just read this real quick. What? Please confirm. And what does it mean by confirm? If the field name is not in the required field names. Model underscore keyword args. The field name is not. It goes into the extra keyword args. Okay, so I think it's, I don't know exactly. I think it's right though. This is wrong. Let's just read a little bit. Actually, I think I might know how I could fix it. Let's see if we go into the Python interviewer. So this init chat model, if we do, yeah, exactly, model provider. See that there's this configurable fields, and then there's this keyword args. What did I used to do? Let's go read old code. Undo all this. Where is all this? No. No. Let's get out of there. I don't want that. Let's just save it and then just read the diff. Interviewer.py. So what changed? What did I used to do? config per, okay. Init chat model. Temperature equals temperature, and then configurable equals config params. Oh. And maybe I very often never pass them in. Maybe I'm just running. Maybe this is just not right. So if I go read, let me like think about this. If I read, pardon me. Pardon me. Okay. So if I read about init chat model again, pardon me. Okay. So if I read about it, there are configurable fields. Mm-hmm. Initialize a chat model using the model's name and prefix. Configurable fields. Fields are assumed to have config prefix stripped. Setting configurable fields any. Aha. Means fields like API key and base URL can be altered at runtime, potentially. Configurable fields equals. Whoa. Fielders, okay. All fields are configurable. Okay. Fields are assumed to model underscore model. Jesus. God. Pip install. Oh my gosh. Temperature equals 0. Anthropic. Yeah. Temperature. Does it do any configurables or anything? Here we are. Config prefix equals foo. What is it doing? Oh, look, foo model. Oh, whoa. Oh, I see. So it's what's allowed when you invoke it. So that's less. I see. So that's not as important to me. Okay. 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 Let's get back into Python and let's try some stuff. Security mode. Oh, somebody said something. Some doubt. If you have doubt about it working, then you are right. But it will work soon. So this base URL, let's just disable it for now. And API key. That's the point. So that is only setting temperature now. Let's just see. We can let the test suite run or pass or fail or whatever. Okay, so save it. So then if I go to my favorite number and try to run it. Okay. Now we're back in here. lm.config, that's not a thing. Yeah, perfect. Has no attribute config. Okay, that's good. dir lm. Right. So what are we looking at? Pydantic. Jeez. Oh. Let's do this. X for X in drlm. If X sub, if not X dot starts with, is it like that, underscore? There we go. There we go. Okay. What do we see? Model stuff. All right, input type. Let's look around. I'm looking for, I want to try to get the disable streaming. I want to try to get just the backend URL. Ooh, get graph. That's weird. HTTP client. Okay, map, model dump. Model dump may help. Oh, look, OpenAI API base. Oh, nice. Cool. We could pull it out that way. Let's try that. LM, OpenAI API base. Is none. Okay. Hey, maybe that's good. Maybe that's good. Let's try this. Let's kill it. And base URL, right? Let's try to pass that in. Let's just try this. Does it allow it? Base. Let's just try it. Wait, lm config. Let's just throw it in here. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Let's just try that. Let's see what happens. Whoops, that's not it. So we run favorite number and we see, I'm expecting maybe it'll crash. That won't work. Let's just see. That is super awesome. That totally worked. So let's get that base URL. So that totally works. So here, base URL here, when we set this thing up, that totally works. Base URL is equal to base URL. Comma, like that. Wonderful. So that works. So then, if it's null, then I think that is fine. Oh, I know. If the URL, yeah, we do it like this. OpenAI API base, right? So at the moment we're tied to OpenAI, but that's fine. We can search and replace and fix that later. So the point is, if there's a base URL, try to parse it, get the host name, okay. Yeah, let's say host name equals none, okay. So we set the host name. If there's an exception, then parsing failed. No. Let's parse it. Let's let it crash if it's something weird. Okay. We parse it and we set the host name. So then if the host name is like null, what it means is it's the default URL. So it is in the dangerous endpoint. I'll say that. In server mode, wait, if the host name is null, oh, that would be in server mode only. Or in, let me think, what do I want the semantics to be? The host name is null. In server mode, that would mean use the yeah, this is an interesting distinction. In server mode, that would mean use the default endpoint for my like OpenAI client. It's going to query OpenAI, of course. But in browser mode, that would mean, that would basically throw an exception. I think it already throws, and here we're just checking dangerous ones. So none is equivalent to dangerous. That's what we're going to go with for now. Relative or invalid, no. Okay, check against dangerous endpoints. Right. Okay, so we go through the dangerous endpoints, raise, right, mode, right, else if, mode, okay. I know what I'll do. Yeah, I know what I'll do. Def on dangerous endpoint. Yeah, exactly. So there's the message. If that, else if, raise, else if, warnings. So yes, we do like this, and then we do on dangerous endpoint. Yes, exactly, with this message. Official API endpoint. Yep. Perfect. And so then this on dangerous is going to have the if else. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So if it's disabled, we just print allowed endpoint. Message. Oh, okay. Allowed endpoint, and then it passes the message, I guess. We'll just say allowed. We'll just say no. It's just the endpoint. Okay, perfect. If it's strict, we'll throw. Yeah, perfect. Actually, that's great. Comma, user warning, stack level 2. Oh, I see what it's doing. That's really cool. I see what it's doing. I want to remove a line of code here. So that's how that works. So then raise, security error. This may expose your, yeah. If we're on strict, yeah, exactly. Security error. This may expose your API. Use a backend proxy instead. Or, oh, I know what it needs to do. No, that's fine. That's fine. Let's just keep going. So that's awesome. But let's do warning before strict, so it kind of goes in order. Boop. Okay, warning. Cool. So if it's disabled, it'll say, hey, I found your endpoint. No comment here. Okay. And so then that's it. All this goes away. Perfect. Oh, and then it returns. Okay. And then we can do this. The whole reason I've been working up to this is to say if the host name is none, yes, exactly. Yeah. So we will do message equals, yeah, default. Maybe we could say this. Configured. Something like that. Or let's just do this, huh? On dangerous. Dangerous. Just pass it in there, huh? Nobody minds. And just return. Something like that. So then it can log that out, you know, so in the like 99% of the time, this is what I want. This is exactly what I want for security. 99% of the time, what's going to happen is the host name will be none. It's going to call on dangerous. and the mode is going to be disabled, and this print message is probably going to go away into something else soon. And so it just says, hey, here's your endpoint. It says your endpoint is not explicitly configured, and that's it. And then it's going to return. But if we're in if it's in browser mode, then it's going to freak out. Right? It's going to throw. It's going to raise. Yeah, exactly. So that's great. Okay, fine. Yep. Okay, I'm basically happy. Let's just kind of tighten it up. I'm in the mood to tighten it up. That's fun. No, I'm not. Okay, good. So that's detect dangerous. So that needs to copy over to TypeScript a little bit. Maybe I can make Claude Code do that. Yeah, let me write like isomorphic on dangerous endpoint. If Oh no, it shouldn't matter. On dangerous endpoint should be like identical. Yeah, let's just make Claude do that. Or not on dangerous. Detect dangerous endpoint. Yep. Very good. Go back on. Make it read it all. That's fine. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's keep going. This is gonna work. So that's detect dangerous now, right? So in Python, detect dangerous, I think I can like kill it. Terminal. Yeah, it's dead. Let's kill it. Okay. So in Python, detect dangerous runs. And the security mode is set. That's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. I prompted Claude to do that ages ago, so I'm happy we're there now. Detect dangerous. So this is the perfect. And then set up graph. So save. So that's perfect. This is browser endpoint security, or yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I feel. But the perfect's the enemy of the good. This is good progress. Oh shoot, I'm trying to make it aligned perfectly. But so like literally every line of code has a corresponding line of code. That's exactly what I want. That's what I, especially when I say isomorphic like this, that's what I want. I want identical comments and then um non-identical code. That's what's isomorphic. Maybe it's a bad label because it means these things they're gonna be similar in some way but different in another. Okay, perfect. So that's awesome. Oh my gosh. No explicit endpoint configured. Oh yeah. Let me make it stop. Yeah, of course. So we got to test stuff with no endpoint and all of that. Um, let's just try example, right? Python favorite number, right? Let's start there. Okay. Okay, API key expired. Let's see. Stop. Okay. Did I not pull it in already? Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Let's go read the example. Python examples. Favorite number? Yeah, exactly. Error. Please set it. Uh-huh. So it is set, because if I do like that, it's gonna say no, that isn't, and it's gonna say you need to set it. Right. So that's good. But run interactive interview. What is that? Run interactive. Does it make the interviewer object? Yeah, it makes the interviewer object. So there's our thread ID. And then, so can I pass in like the API underscore key? Interviewer, right? I should. Is that working? Interviewer. I disabled it. Okay, so let's turn it on real quick. Let's try it here, huh? Seems like that. So I'll do that. Let's just see what happens. So I have not explicitly passed it yet. Good. Good. This is good. Good. Why is it hanging like that? That's odd. Okay, so then in my example, I forgot for a moment that the example's in another language. Favorite number.py. Now there's an API key. API, there it is. Yes. Yes, exactly. OpenAI. So if I pass it in explicitly, does it work? No. Now, has it genuinely expired? That seems like nonsense. Oh, this is cool. We can go run it in TypeScript. TypeScript/examples. Super easy. System prompt demo. Does that query the actual LLM? I don't know if it does. NPX, TSX, favorite number. That's why we got two languages. Oh, but did I modify it too much? I may have modified it too much. Wait, set cookie? Okay. I think I modified this and it's not letting me. Okay, I think I know why. I think I know why. So in the interviewer, it's OpenAI, right? It's chat OpenAI. It's this. And this LangChain/OpenAI it's a different thing. Yeah, here. It's a different object. And so because of that, this, okay, I know what I need to do. I need to do this. Strip the prefix OpenAI colon from LM ID. Yeah. Really? You're gonna do it that way? Okay, whatever. And then just move that here. It's gotta go there. So we cut it out. So now in TypeScript, we cut out that prefix. Hey, I'm excited. Okay, wonderful. So then I say 23. Wonderful. Fascinating number. Illuminatus trilogy. And it's going to exit. Thank you. Yisip Sam. So wonderful. So what that means is my API key is good. That's exactly what that means. That's so awesome. So that's really helpful. So this expired thing is like wrong. Secrets or .env.secret. It's going to do the same thing. So what that means is, I think what that means is I'm passing the API key wrong in here. Like either here. Well, no, not in the caller, but in the interviewer. So we could try it the other way. It was throwing me a warning earlier. But we could see what happens. Come on, Schwartz. I think same problem, huh? Expired. Oh! Is it my Langsmith? It's a Langsmith. Yeah, maybe that's true. That might actually be true. Okay. But it worked in the other one. Oh, so let's do this. And then run the normal.env. Yeah, it's Langsmith that's crashing. Oh, configurable's no good. Okay, undo. Whoops, redo. So we're gonna let that API key go through. I think that might be working. And so we'll let that go through, but Langsmith, do I want to fix it? No. Let's wrap up. This is good. This is a total like thing I got into. I thought I gotta rename my thing. Like we did not do those front end demos. This makes sense. This is I was saying this. I'm like I prefer back end work almost usually over front end work. So that's exactly what I did today, kind of on accident. So whatever. So what in the world changed? Right. Let's not change anything. So Chatfield. So big stuff here. So we're basically like everything's kind of broken. We're in the middle of making much more isomorphic code. Perfect. Let's add all that in. That was good. Okay, now what? Tests. So tests are a total disaster. Let's add it in though. So then the rest is TypeScript. Oops, git status. So in rollup, that's nothing. Chatfield. Okay, yeah. So let's basically all this. Whoa, warning, what? Basically all this, yep. Okay. So what we've got is this. So it's not done, but I'll just say incomplete work. On isomorphic initialization security check, initialization and security check, and testing. Right, isomorphic. This is interviewer. Yep. Okay. So it's kind of incomplete. What did I miss? Okay. So I want to do one more thing before I log off though. /clear. We need to define / refine a new important high level like concept and value, right? Across this project. Isomorphic. That means specifically both languages test suites. Like what I'm trying to say is broadly an extreme care to making both languages as identical in concept and nearly identical in code, but with minimal necessary documented deviations as needed. That's the point. Okay, so both languages have identical test suites, identical like file names, like similar test file names, identical test definitions and names, identical names. This literally in both languages, in both test suites. Okay, what else? Yeah. Code comments may contain the important keyword isomorphic followed by more comments, basically, right? Important keyword isomorphic. Code comments. Some code comments right of followed by an explanation of the two different behaviors, followed by an explanation of different behaviors. Okay. Followed by an explanation. Okay. Occasional code comments begin with the important keyword isomorphic, followed by an explanation of different behaviors or requirements, followed by like somewhat logic in each language, right? Followed by an explanation of different behaviors and requirements. This is a heads up that isomorphic behavior. This is a heads up that this code like this code, like, what am I trying to say? This code, like, what am I trying to say? It's where the rubber meets the road on the following code. Different across Python and TypeScript for reasons explained. Right, in the comment. Both languages must contain an identical copy of this comment, and then each language should then have its implementation, ideally with comments clarifying should then have its implementation. That's fine. Perfect. Check the, what is that? Latest interviewer implementations. Examples. Okay, perfect. What else do I want? Occasion cost. Okay, isomorphic. Right. The expectation is all code is identical is like code, like labels and names, logic is always identical across languages except as explicitly flagged with an isomorphic comment. Okay, wonderful. Now what do I want? Refine a new important how. This means specifically, okay, an extreme care, the isomorphic stuff. Update all Claude.md files where this would be relevant. Thank you. Ooh, pre-approve and pre-deny. Ooh. Cool. Very good. Let's keep checking stuff in while it's... Oh, we're good. Good. Just kind of halfway done, but we're good. Test suite totally crashes. I don't even want to run it. I guess I'll run it. It's gonna totally bomb out. It's gonna be bad because that's the initialization function. It's gonna be bad. Yeah, it's a bloodbath there. Cool. Yeah, it's bad. That's cool. Fine. Security strict. Fine. I might have some bugs. This is good. This is good. I'm happy. I actually felt a little bit like, whew, it's security code, and I just let Claude Code kind of implement all of it. So I'm happy to review and even read line by line this code. I used for many years in college. I experimented with OpenBSD, and I used it for years as like my desktop. It was OpenBSD. So, and the thing that they were known for was like auditing literally every single line of code that had run. You were, promised that a human read every line of code of every piece of software on your entire computer, unless you start pulling in stuff yourself. That was the idea. That was exactly the idea. So I'm glad to kind of revisit all this security stuff, because it's no joke. Like that would be bad. I think this will be like the new spam, where in the old days, if you lost API key, for example, if you lost your API keys, or if you leaked your API keys to AWS or Azure or Google, then if someone got them, they'd start using those keys to spam or maybe do Bitcoin stuff or whatever. And now it might be like use them for fraud stuff. I don't know, but um, now you get this LLM. They could use it for API keys to an LLM. Firstly, it's expensive, and then it could be used for like spam kind of purposes. So that's all bad. So I'm glad that the security stuff is that I've kind of slowed down and tightened it up. And this is exactly what I wanted. If I go, it's all kind of janky now, but the logic, I like the logic. This is exactly what I wanted. Oh, we have it in two languages. So in two languages, it's not bad. It's just if there's no endpoint, well, then that's the default one. So that's the dangerous one. Or if it's from a known list that I'm going to improve on later, where's that known list doesn't matter, then that's also dangerous. Otherwise, it's safe. But what does it mean for it to be dangerous? For a server where all of this checking is disabled, it means nothing happens. It means nothing happens. But I've got a place in the code now that's, because this is all running, it's not commented out and all that. I can get in there and make security related changes or, something like that if I ever want to. That's like kind of why I took the trouble to do this. So on the server side, this will be disabled by default, and in the disabled implementation, even this print is not going to last, not going to survive. It's going to no op basically for this stuff, or log at a debug level, something like that. In warning mode, it'll at least throw this warning. Again, I don't know why a Python person would want to put it in warning mode. But it's parallel over on the other. That's the isomorphic stuff. And in strict mode, of course, it just throws for the same reason. So then it always runs. It's not compiled away, or it's not commented out. It's not disabled. And I like that because it's security related code. I don't want it to like rot away or become incompatible or something. So then meanwhile, over on this interviewer, same thing. Detect dangerous, and literally exactly the same thing. Here's the like handler, you could say. And so we log it out, or we warn, or we throw. Exactly the same. Browser specific, cannot disable security in browser. Oh, this is super awesome. Actually, this is super awesome. TypeScript only. That's wonderful. That's actually great. But there needs to be a comment in the other language. Yeah. TypeScript only. TypeScript only. Right? This needs to be over in the Python code too. On dangerous. Right here. If the host name is null. Yeah, exactly. Right here. Paste. That's what that needs. Okay. Well, if I'm going to make changes, then I may as well make what else did I want to do? I think I changed that. Cool. Save. Okay, cool. So then the null, this means we check against dangerous endpoints. Always run this logic. Gone. We just do it. Host name. We just do it, or print. Okay, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Let me just amend that in. I don't really care too much. Whoa. Chatfield and // TypeScript / Chatfield. Just this stuff. Yeah, just some isomorphic stuff. Let me just amend that all in. Whoa. Amend dash C head. Okay, good. So that's amended in. Good. So then here's all my Claude Code stuff. Isomorphism stuff. Okay, push it up. Whoa. What happened? Main origin, main. What are we doing? Incomplete work? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, nobody look. You ready? Nobody look. Okay. Let's just do a quick wrap up. I gotta go. So today was gnarly. Today was gnarly. I said when I started, if I take one day, just kind of just relaxing, that's a pleasure, and if it's 2 days, that's a vice, and it was a vice. With the vice was just doing things out of order. My plan of what I'm going to work on today. I just got more into this perfect identical operation in these interviewers and how they initialize and how they check the endpoints, because like I described, in the TypeScript world, running on the browser is an extremely I don't want to I want to do everything I can not to accidentally facilitate a developer leaking API keys, because it's so easy to do Chatfield. Just do Chatfield, put in an API key, something like that. I wouldn't want that. So that's also, I don't mind being a little careful for commits. Oh, okay. Plan for tomorrow can stick. Oh, did I like check in? I must have checked in something. Yeah, I must have made, let me fix one issue here. I assume that I checked in like roll up comments. Where's that roll up config? This one? Yeah. What is that? Can I blame this line out very easily? Nope. I don't have blame built in. Let me just blame that real quick. So this needs to be fixed. Okay, so let's just switch over to Python then. Okay. Git redo. Paste. Okay. Edit it. Oh, I see. Okay, so we're back. So let me just pull this out of the roll-up config. Pull that out, save it. Okay, whoops. Roll up. So this, we're gonna add that in. So then we continue. Continue. Oh, put that back. Okay, continue. Wonderful. So now it's gone. And then what I love to do, I come back in here, I go to my file and I just press undo and then save, and it's back. Got my notes for myself. Come on. Okay. Let's see if it does that. Yes, thank you. I didn't do any React today. I plan to do React and I worked on a lot of Python. So, but that's open source. So that's good. And it's Saturday. Now I do want to get I want to get some progress though, because this I believe, like I started saying, I believe the like the Chrome extension that can do Chatfield for arbitrary forms. I believe you could use Chatfield to complete a form um without even knowing the either the language or like the subject matter like very well. You know, like in many cases, because these forms are kind of about well-known things like government stuff or whatever, school stuff. You know, the LLM may, if you say, well, what's next of kin mean? It could say, oh, next of kin means this and that. That's, you know, way more helpful than than a form could do. So I love it. Okay, so thank you, thank you, thank you. So um, let's read the summary. Today was total blur. Um, and then pick up. So let's go to the wiki. I think I need to do a weekly wrap up here. 11th. Yeah, this I think will last for a long time in the project, this concept of isomorphism now. I don't know. I may need to rename it, because what I've discovered is the point is, well, the philosophy is that everything's isomorphic, but where these comments show up, there are now comments in the code where Claude Code is expected to really track this. We'll have identical comments in both code bases, and it's going to really explain where they deviate. And the two languages are never allowed to deviate under any other circumstances. That's the point. That's the expectation, is if you see code, you know it's identical in the other language unless there's a comment there that says, here's an isomorphic thing. That's the change. So mostly that's like, I did a couple of examples, and I did one by hand basically, and told Claude Code to update all the documentation. Oh, whoops. And I guess I also did Playwright, but I didn't test it. I think I tested it slightly, but I didn't use it for development yet, but yeah, Playwright was super easy. Uh-huh. And so then tomorrow, actually there's a little difference. I need to finish this. Like the test suites aren't running because um getting this isomorphic stuff going made me rethink. What happened is I got back in Python and I said, well, wait a second. Now the server browser, thing is real now. And Python's way out of sync with all the TypeScript code because TypeScript's doing some server browser stuff. And then what does that mean? And then what does it mean to pass an API key? Should Chatfield like care if you pass an API key, or should Chatfield allow you to let LangGraph connect correctly? So it shook out a lot of, I think, kind of deeper kind of quality and design questions, or it exposed these, and I'm like 70-80% done, I think, solving them in two languages, 3 runtimes, like I've described. So that is kind of, otherwise, like, it's just not building anymore. I just kind of busted the initialization functions too badly. So that's required. And then with that working, yes, I'm certainly happy to get into, I'm pretty sure I copy and paste the examples and put them on the front end, and it's going to work either first or nearly the first try. So maybe I'll be wrong there, but that's my expectation because of my guts, because of what it feels like. So thank you. That's, is it all pushed up and good? That doesn't matter. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I gotta do that again, don't I? Update Claude, yeah. Nobody look. Done. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Until next time.